If it is only movies, then I would choose A. But usually
because of
it's
the chill
never
part.
it's never that. I literally we can start off doing that, and then they're like,
you know, it's a good point.
off me.
You know what, me? I can sit there and watch the movie. It's no
I could
problem.
too. But
that's all I thought
they
was
hands
movie.
like to gravitate.
All I thought about was movie.
You're
Free
like,
movie.
Can I give you a massage?
No. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Passport to Perspectives. All right. So today we have a beautiful guest with us. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Yolissma. I'm from Houston, Texas. I've been in Korea for 5 years.
Nice.
I came back in 2019 as an English teacher through Epic.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Korea with no knowledge of Korea. During the interview, they actually asked me like, oh, what do you know about Korea? I just Googled, oh, they like sweet potatoes. I like sweet potatoes too.
During the interview?
Yes.
Hilarious.
That was it. I didn't know anything about Korea. And looking back, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I came because I came with a neutral slate.
Absolutely.
So when I got here, I met a lot of Black girls who were like, oh, Korea didn't meet my expectations. I was disappointed because they watched a lot of K-dramas.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I didn't.
See, but I knew that because I was the K-drama, K-pop girl, right? So I watched and listened to all of that, but I wasn't infatuated. I didn't idealize Koreans. Also, I watched a lot of YouTube. So I was very big into watching like street interviews and, you know, what people really think about Americans or, you know, before I travel to any country, I always look up like, can a Black woman travel
think we all do. That's like, I already know that's coming. I know it.
You know, like, so
we all do that.
Because we have to. Like,
is it safe? What is it? Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, like as a woman, you have to know, is it safe to travel as a woman? And then on the other hand, as a Black woman, like do people in that country accept Black people? How's the racism in the country?
Yeah.
You know, so I was just like, okay, well, let's deep dive into the culture. And then I got more into the culture because people seem to be, you know, friendly. Of course, there's little racisms and microaggressions, you know, here and there. We'll get into that later, you know. But at the end of the day, it didn't seem anything that was worse than America.
Yeah, that's true. It's less.
Facts.
No guns. It's rare someone comes and tries to pick a fight with you because you're Black.
So they'll avoid me like on the subway, but that makes me happy because I love my bubble. I love space.
Aww.
So like when it's so funny when I see everyone complain about like people not sitting next to them. I'm like,
I like that space. I complain about them sitting next to me, not in a bad
like
way,
up on me. Just they like
that's exactly what I'm trying to say. They're like they don't sit next to you, they sit up on you. For example, this morning it was early morning, so nobody's really on the subway. So it's so many open seats.
Okay.
Subway opens, Korean comes on, looks, he comes and sits right next up under me. And I'm like, all these open seats and you sit up under me.
Girl, that is the one culture shock that I had to like get out of. Like, I remember being when I first got here, I was living in Dongyeoncheon and I went to the Daiso to pick up, you know, stuff for my apartment. And I was like paying, you know, checking out. And then I wasn't even finished. Like I hadn't paid. She hadn't bagged any of my things. And here comes this Ajuma, like right up on my back and then puts her stuff down while breathing on my neck.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo.
You don't be having time to pay. You just be... And you have to grab...
Literally. Like it was so awkward. I looked at her. She looked at me. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. She don't see anything wrong with it.
What?
Like, oh my God. Can I have time to pay? Can I have time to get the bag to put my stuff in?
I need no personal space. Oh my
goodness. Like, that used to get to me. Like
Same. I've had to learn how to like just be okay with it. But like, other than that, like has Korea been good to you so far?
Korea has gotten good to me. It did not start out that way for like 4 years.
Well, tell us a little bit about your Korean experience.
This year, I got to see or experience a side of Korea that I hadn't experienced.
Good.
And I think one of the big things about that was, first of all, I didn't know anything about the culture. I didn't know anything about the people, how they operate.
Coming in blind.
I came in blind. I came to a city I didn't want to come to.
Oh.
So like when I was going through the interview process with Epic, they had asked me, what city do you want to teach in? So I just Googled different cities in Korea, and I was drawn more to Busan.
Okay.
So I had told them I want to be in Busan, and they said, okay. And then they said, well, you're not like a certified teacher, because I got my degree in communications, but I had TEFL. They said, so what's another city? And I said, okay, Daegu, because it's close to Busan.
Yes.
And they said, okay, sure. But then someone told me like they'll take it into consideration, but they'll place you wherever
they want you.
Yes. And when they sent me my acceptance letter, they said, congratulations, you've been accepted to the Seoul Metropolitan Office of Education. And I was like, that was the place I didn't want to go to. It didn't even make my list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you explain why Seoul didn't make your list? Because literally everyone who comes to Korea wants to be in Seoul. I even wanted to be in Seoul.
I don't know why. Like I said, I Googled what the cities look like.
Okay.
And so I was going based off of feeling. And I never felt peace here. Like I felt like it's just a really busy city. It's too much overstimulating for me. But Busan was a little bit chill, slower pace. I had the ocean, I had the mountains. It was more of my personality.
Understood.
Yeah. And then when I went to go visit, I was like, yeah, this is me. But Seoul it was never me. So now I'm placed in a city that I didn't want to be in. I didn't really want to teach, but I wanted to travel and take pictures. That was what I wanted to do. And teaching was just that avenue to help me do it.
Of course.
So now I'm in a job I don't want to be in. And I'm working with a lot of little kids from like 3rd grade to 6th grade. So I have a lot of things I don't like on me. And I'm forcing myself to go through them so that I can do what I want to do, which was travel.
Of course.
Yeah. So it was just a lot of cultural shocks and just very different. And I guess like coming from the States, like I knew Japanese culture, I knew Chinese culture, like I knew that. So I thought, okay, it's gonna be
similar.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It wasn't. And I was like, I complained a lot. Like I did. And my friends were like, even my mom, she was like, you complained so much. And I did. But I didn't want to go home.
Of course.
I just stayed because at the time I guess my mind is like, you're just going to push through it.
Of course.
Yeah. Because my goal was to do film here. That was my dream, was to be a filmmaker here and do cinematography. And I thought it was going to be really easy, and it was not. And I'm teaching, and it was just a lot of things that I didn't want to do. And so I did try to leave. Actually, after the first year, I was looking to go to Japan.
Okay.
But the pandemic happened.
Yeah. Girl, that turned everyone's plans around.
So I was just here.
Did you have to teach during that time as well?
So the second year teaching was great because no kids came to school.
Lovely.
Yeah. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And they're like, oh, just show up and like, we're trying to figure out what to do with you. And so I ended up, and that year I had a really nice handler, co-teacher.
Yes, co-teacher.
My first year, I did not have the best co-teach. Like
makes all the difference in the world.
Oh my goodness. That first year, my teaching, it was hard.
Yeah.
She didn't help me
do anything.
Yeah, it was just yeah. The second year I had a really nice co-teacher. I said, I wish I would have had this lady my first year because she was so warm and so kind. Even when I left the school, she gave me a gift of tea. The co-teacher makes a difference, and your housing makes a difference. I didn't like my apartment.
You ain't said nothing but a word. That first year apartment. When I tell you, during your first year here in Korea, they will put you wherever. Okay. And it can be a shoebox.
I'm just like, do they not think
Nope.
that, oh, this person's coming from such a long distance, we should try to make them comfortable? They just find something that's cheap, like, oh, here you go, and you're supposed to take it and be happy with it. And
cheap,
it's like
close to the school.
Yeah, and it's like, no. And so I just didn't like my apartment was not small. It's just not what I was expecting. And I was across the street from the school. It was just older.
They usually do that to people.
Yeah. So I like always see my students. So it was just a lot that I had to get out. By the third year, I was over it. I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I cannot keep doing this. So randomly, it was just crazy because it was out of the blue. I didn't know anything about like life outside of teaching because all I ever hear is all you can do is teach and create. That's all you can do. There's nothing else. So I thought, okay, that's all I can do. That's all I can do. But then I started meeting other foreigners who were not teachers, who were students, who were models, who were actors, entertainers. And I'm like, wait, you live here? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, but they told me all you can do is teach. And they're like, no, there's a whole world.
A whole new
world. Sorry. Outside of that teacher bubble. And I'm like, I want to know.
Yes. Tell me everything. Yes. I still want to know.
Yes, I want to know. So I got randomly like called to be an extra for a Netflix series. And I was like, is this a scam? This has to be a scam because they didn't send me an email. They just text me. Like, who does that?
In Korean or in English?
It was in English.
Okay.
Yeah. So I messaged a girl who I knew was like doing modeling. Like she was involved more than I was.
Right.
And I said, is this a scam? And she said, like, what's the agency? And I told her the agency name. And she said, oh, no, it's real. And she said, what's the shoot? And I told her the shoot. She said, oh, yeah. She said, okay, I'm going to be there. See you. And I was like, okay. So I said, okay, this is my chance. I took this as this is my opportunity to get, yeah. So I said, okay, what do I have to do? They said, the shoot's in Jeju. I was like, I don't have no money to Jeju. They said, don't worry about it. We pay for your flight. You just pack your clothes. We fly you out. We feed you, and then we'll fly you back. So that was actually my first time ever going to Jeju, was to like be an extra for that. And when I got on the set, it really was, I had stepped into a whole new world.
Of course.
I had met so many foreigners, so many Black foreigners were there. I was like, is this real? Like, this is not what I've been experiencing for 3 years. After I quit teaching, because now I've done this set, I know there's other options. So I went home, actually. I went home and I actually had left and I decided I was not going to ever come back to Korea because that last year, I had like a really bad accident. And I was very stressed, mentally not in the right mind frame.
Okay.
Not like I was walking around crazy, but just once again, Seoul is very overstimulating for me.
Yes.
And I was in a lot of isolation because of the pandemic. So a lot of inner thinking, thinking I was, I wasn't skinny enough because I couldn't fit the clothes, but I'm trying to fit Korean clothes. Yeah. Come on now. Like, girl. Trying to lose weight, going to the gym, not really eating healthy, and I ended up passing out. So I knew I had passed out, and then it was around winter time, maybe around December or January. I was walking outside, and so I'm from Texas, from Houston, Texas. We don't get snow like that. Right. So I had like just got some fur boots, but the sole was not proper. And I ended up slipping and falling on my face. And so this Korean man saw me. He walks up to me. Now, if this was America, it would have been different. He walks up to me. He looks at me. He says, and then he just keeps going. And I'm like, I don't really speak Korean, so I didn't even know how to say help.
Right.
And I really, really needed help because I tried to stand up.
Right.
And I couldn't stand up. I was so dizzy. So I had to lay back down, like in the bush. I just had to lay down. So I was like laying down on the sidewalk and people were walking past me. And so I finally, like when I tried to get up again, I wasn't dizzy. And so I walked home by myself and my feelings were very, very hurt. Like just, yeah.
Because even more so because you've been isolated for so long. So when that event happens, it's just like a...
Yes. And he saw me slip and fall, and you didn't, and it was a hard fall. And so I ended up going home and I called my best friend and I was just crying.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in a place where you see someone has injured themselves or hurt and you just feel like I'm not going to help them. I'm just going to watch. I'm going to go up to their face, show them I saw them fall.
Which is the crazy
and
part.
Keep going. I was like, I can't live like, and I'm by myself.
Right.
I'm the only child. So I packed my stuff and I went home and I said, I'm never going back again. That was it. I said, I never want to go back to that country again. I turned in my ARC card and I was done.
Wow.
I was done. So then I go home, I'm feeling like trying to like get mentally stable because I had went through so much.
Of course.
And I just kept having dreams. And I was still getting like messages on Kakao.
Okay.
Because after I did that gig, other companies, production companies or whatever, wanted to contact me. And I actually ended up, Samsung had contacted me actually before I left.
Wow.
But I was so over
it.
Korea. I said no.
Right.
Like I didn't care.
You did right. You did what your spirit was telling you to do at that moment, and that was right.
I just wanted to get out. I just wanted to get out.
Right.
But when I went home, and I was like, man, what am I going to do? And like I was applying for jobs at home and I wasn't getting anything, but I'm still getting callbacks and opportunities from Korea. And I'm having these dreams of like, you need to go back.
Yeah. Well, that had to have been tough for you mentally too, because you're like, I just went through all of this. I literally turned all my ARC in. I decided, why is my mental pushing me back to Korea?
I definitely, I was like, no, I dragged.
Right.
I dragged.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
So I was like, I don't know anything about finding agencies. So I messaged a model and I said, what do I do? And they said, it's better for you to be in Korea and find an agency or agent. Because you're here, so they know you're a little bit more serious versus being in the States.
Of course.
So I said, okay. So I had the teacher retirement, like after you teach. So I used that money to come back.
Pension money.
Yeah, the pension money.
Okay.
I used that money to come back to Korea. And then I stayed in a Gochuan. That's my first time staying in a Gochuan. And at Daeun Station.
Okay.
And I stayed there for like the winter break.
Okay.
And then that's when I started messaging the agencies, and some agencies were trying to like say I have to pay for the visa and they're going to charge me 30%. And if agency ever says 30%, that's too high.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's a good range
like
that you would say?
10 to 20, no more than 20%. Yeah. And so so I just walked away. So I had prayed because I had to do a visa run because I was on a tourist visa. So every 3 months I had to leave. So I had already left when I went to Japan and then I had came back. But I was like, I'm sick of doing these visa runs.
So you literally just have to hop to another country and then come back.
Yes, yeah.
It doesn't matter for how long you're in that other country, or can it be a day?
I don't know if it can be a day. I don't know about that. I stayed for like maybe 3 days or something, and then I would come back. My goal was to do film.
Yes.
So to finally like be on the film set, a Korean film set, which is what I wanted to do, and I'm seeing all these foreigners and I'm seeing how they're acting, they're modeling. I'm like, oh, there's something here. There's hope. There's possibility. So I started asking them, what are you doing? Like, how are you staying here? Are you on teacher visa? And they said, no, I'm on the E6 visa. And I said, what is that? And then that's when they started telling me like what the E6 visa was. It was like modeling, art, entertainment. If you're an artist, it's pretty much the artist visa.
Okay.
And it gives you that freedom to do anything creative in Korea and get paid.
Now, do you have to, I guess, make a certain amount to get that visa? Is it easy to get? Like, how was the process in getting that visa?
My process was really smooth, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So after they told me about the E6 visa, I didn't know anything. You have to find an agent.
Okay.
Agency that will sponsor your visa.
Of course.
And they told me like, what were the red flags? You know, beware were the green flags. And the red flags are you're not supposed to pay for the visa. That's illegal. So, and there were some agencies that I did reach out to and they said, well, you're going to have to pay us. And then we're going to charge you 30%. Like, it was just outrageous. Like, they just pretty much wanted to fee everything so you have no money.
Right.
So I knew this is not it.
Yeah,
this is not it. So when I came back, it was almost time for me to do another visa run. I said, I don't want to do another one. So then I had prayed and I was like, like, Lord, I want to do this the right way. I don't want to pay for the visa if I'm not supposed to, even though that's all I was getting.
Right.
So I had applied to one agency that was new at the time. And it was like a lot of models working there.
Okay.
So somebody was like, oh, why don't you apply to them? Because they're new. So I had submitted my application and then they got back to me and they're like, oh, congratulations, you've been accepted with the agency. You have, like I went through the process.
Yes.
So I got that. I signed with that agency right before it was time for me to leave. And I was like, that's exactly what I prayed for, because I didn't pay for the visa. It was the right way.
Right.
So then I had to, once you sign your contract and everything, you have to go back, or they say you go back to your home country, and you have to apply for that visa at the embassy at your home country. If I had known now, I probably just would have went to Guam.
Right.
Because Guam is U.S. territory. Didn't think about it. I went all the way back to Texas.
Yeah.
And I had submitted the paperwork. But it worked out because I got to go home to see my family.
Of course.
But while I was there, I said, oh, great, I'll go home and I'll be able to find a job and then save up some money. Yeah. So when I came back last year, I came back with no job. Just the check and the dream that
I want to do a church stomp right now.
I mean, that's what happened. Flew back, didn't know I was going to stay. I had found Airbnb, another Goshiwan, but this one was nice. It was nice. I didn't have a window though, but it was close to Seoul Botanical Garden. And so I stayed there, and then I said, okay, I got to find a job now. Like I can't, I got to keep the money coming in.
That part.
Because now I have the visa, the E6 visa. So I had got on Facebook and was just looking. I had joined like a Facebook group, and there was a position for a social media manager / content creator. And the pay was like $9.60 something.
Okay.
But that job taught me a lot. It taught me about money.
That part.
I was just like, oh, it's a job and I'm going to be making some money, because I hadn't been working since I was teaching.
Right.
So I was glad to be making
just
something.
Anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And that helped me cover my rent. It helped me pay for my bill. I didn't have to stress, because being honest, being a model is not easy here.
Right.
You cannot just make it off of being a model.
Right.
You can't. So that job was a blessing, and it helped sustain me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I finally got manager on my resume.
Yes.
Yeah. I got that experience. Yes.
Oh, wow. And then you've just kind of like grown from there.
And then my friends who knew I was in Korea, like most of the jobs I found is because people know me and they're like, oh, I know Yolissma would be good for this. One of my friends back in Texas, she saw some company, K-beauty company that she follows. They were looking for a content creator, a foreigner who lived in Korea, who could go around and create content about Korean culture.
Okay.
She sent me the job. Oh, I think this would be great for you. I said, okay. I applied. I got that. It was me, and it was another girl. This other girl, she's half Korean, half Chilean. And so they said we had both got the position, which was, it was not a one-man job. You needed, of course. Yeah, you needed two people because of the assignments. They had so many assignments for us to do. I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. Yeah. So I did that for like 3 or 4 months. And so actually the funny thing is they gave me a price.
Okay.
So I said, maybe this is too low. So I contact a friend in LA, and I was like, look at the job I was offered. Look at what they're offering me. And he was like, don't take it. Go higher.
Okay.
I said, okay. So I said, thank you, but can I get paid for this amount? And they said, I thought they were going to like.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They said, okay. Okay. I'm so glad I reached out to him, because I would have took that $50.
Girl.
It was $50 an hour.
Okay.
So I ended up being able to make more than that. Like just the fact that I'm sitting here constantly trying to lowball myself, and do not lowball yourself. Like, yeah.
I did not know your story. Of course, this is my first time hearing all of this. And I want to tell you how much I admire you.
Oh.
Right? You are the kind of person that, you go for what you want. And that is beautiful. Even if you're scared, even if you are not fully settled in the decision, you still do it because you love it and you want to do it. And I find that to be such a beautiful quality in a person. So good for you. A person that says yes to opportunity loses nothing. Because at the end of the day, if you wouldn't have said yes, you would have been back home. For real, like the opportunities, like this is one thing that I stress with all of my being. Just say yes to certain things because you never know where it's going to take you. Had you not had said yes to that random text to get on the Netflix show, like who knows where your life would have been.
Yes, that's so true.
You know, and then to say yes to connecting to other people and getting to know other people here in Korea, like not staying isolated, even though you were like forcibly isolated.
Yes.
You know, like, but not letting that close down your mental state, you know, completely, and still trying to meet people and putting yourself out there. Like, your story is beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, that's amazing.
I'm just like warming up on the inside because I never, it has been a journey. It has. And it's still a journey.
Of course.
And the fact that I can just encourage people. And I don't really like, I don't tell everybody my story or like full details because, you know, I know how society is and I want them thinking I'm cuckoo, but it's how I'm led and I'm guided.
That's divine operation, baby girl. That is divine so I also believe in God, right? So how I got to Korea was divinely orchestrated.
It has to be.
You know, honey,
Korea
because
is not for the weak. It's not.
Yeah. So don't come here and you don't know who you are.
I know plenty of people who come here and they leave 6 months, so you like 1 month.
Midnight runs.
I was gonna say midnight runs.
Girl, like midnight runs are basically when someone comes here. And like, usually if you want to leave the country, you got to turn in your ARC. You have to tell your co-teachers. You have to like do this whole thing, like give up your apartment. But some people are just like, screw you guys, I'm going home. You know, like, I'm out.
They leave at midnight.
Literally at midnight. Tell no one, pack their things and just bolt, bro. It's crazy.
I'm glad I didn't do one.
And again, divinely orchestrated because had you not done things the right way, you wouldn't be here doing what you're doing. You know, so like, to everyone who doesn't know.
Oh my goodness.
This is a game called Mentally Stimulate Me.
Okay.
And it's just a good way to get to know another person, right? And just have good conversations. So like maybe on a first date, friendships, you know, just a fun way to get to know people, right?
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's super fun, I promise. Go ahead and choose one.
Okay. It says, biggest pet peeve during an argument is a person who... And I read them to you.
Yes.
A, deflects blame. B, flips the script on you. C, ignores you. D, tries to make jokes at the wrong time.
Ooh, they're all bad. They're all bad.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, but which one's the worst, right?
This is really hard.
It is because they're all awful.
Yes, and I have to pick the most awful
the most annoying one to you. So I think you might be D, makes jokes at the wrong time.
No.
Oh, okay. Which one do you think I am?
I think you are A, deflects blame.
Deflects blame. Okay. And then we'll show our card to the camera.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. What are you?
C. Flips the script on you. And I was thinking about B.
Man. Like
I was gonna go.
You're gonna go with
B. Go with that one.
Because like, that is to me, that is the worst thing ever. Like, you make it to be my issue when it was never my issue, and now you trying to
can I change mine to B? Yeah, but it's between B and C.
And what was C?
C was ignores you.
Okay, yeah, facts. Because that is also really awful.
Yeah.
But I would rather someone ignore me because then like, okay, we're just not fighting. But like, if you like flip the script on me, now we're fighting. And I hate to fight. I hate to argue.
But the thing is, to me, if there's a issue, I want to solve it. So if you're ignoring it, it's still there. And you're going to do it again, or I'm going to do something that irritates you. So don't just ignore it. If I bring it to your attention, like, let's talk about it. I'm not trying to fight you. I just want to talk about it.
Oh, you might have brought me over to see then. I get it. I think maybe it's because like I'm a big avoidant during conflict. Yeah. Like I will talk.
You're an avoidant. So
I'm an avoidant. but only for a minute. Like I have to gather I don't want to talk to you when I'm angry.
Yeah.
I want to gather
That's
myself,
fair.
figure out how I actually feel, and then come back and talk about it when I'm not angry. But if I'm like having to argue with you in that moment, like I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just being emotional. I'm just talking out of my emotions.
Yes.
So it's not productive for either one of us to be talking, you know? So like, I would rather, okay, let me go get myself together for a little bit. And then I can come back and tell you, oh, I felt this way when you did this. This is why. I'm that kind of person. Like I'm an avoidant, but avoidant for the first 30 minutes.
That's understandable. Like I do that. Like sometimes I'm like, I need to take a step back and gather my thoughts.
Exactly.
Because if not, then it's a lash. And then,
We
I
gonna
try to
fight.
keep peace. Yeah. I don't want to say that, but yeah.
Right.
So I get that. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Next question. They're not all that bad, I promise. All right. The fastest way for someone to earn cool points with you is to A, tell the truth no matter what. B, admit when they're wrong. C, make time for you. Or D, verbalize the things they like about you. I know who I am. I just okay. Which one? Which one do you think for me?
Can I explain first?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So I was thinking you like words of affirmation, but now I'm thinking you really respect someone who's honest regardless.
Okay.
So I go with A.
Okay. For you, I'm also going to go with A because you like an honest person.
I do.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Which one are you? Neither one of us got that right.
Oh.
No, okay. So C was going to be my
what was C?
other choice.
C
Make
was,
time for you.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So quality time. I love that's one of my what is it called?
Love
languages.
Yes.
You know? So that's my second. But I chose verbalize the things that I'm
that's what I said.
I know. I was like,
her personality. Yes. I was like, she likes the
I do. I just come to notice that like before I was never really that way, but I think because now I'm in a country that doesn't always verbalize things, and I don't hear good things about me that often anymore. Like when I was at home, I would hear it a lot. People are very friendly, they'll tell you all kinds of things. So it didn't matter as much. But here living in Korea, when you don't talk to that many people, or not that. You just don't hear nice things all the time.
Yeah, everyone's like to themselves.
Exactly. So now when I hear it, like when you gave me the compliment, like this little girl inside of me just like...
I love giving compliments, especially when I see it. It says give honor to where it's due. So
come on now.
You're good at you're really good.
And even now, like a little girl inside of me is just like... So that has definitely changed. It used to be quality time was number one, but I think words of affirmation have like taken a little taken a high note recently.
Okay. Yeah.
And then yours was quality time, right?
Yes.
Making time.
Yes. Time is very precious and it's valuable, something
absolutely
you can't get back. So when someone I specifically say guys, but like
it's fine.
You're taking your time to spend time with me. You're going out of your way to show me, like, okay, you're worth my time.
Absolutely.
To me, you're showing me the words of affirmation.
Absolutely. That's the action behind the words.
I like the
for
action
sure.
because people talk a lot of talk, man, but
that part.
Yeah.
I'm still 100% quality time over anything else.
You do. You be getting out.
I'm
like, how'd she find this stuff?
Girl, you and more than me.
Your best friend.
Yeah, to me.
That's too weird.
Bro, we go out. We're going to Busan tomorrow.
Dude, they always going somewhere.
Came for the exact same reason you did. I came to Korea to travel. Teaching was just the easiest way to get here. But like, if I came to Korea and didn't travel, like, I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice.
Yeah, you are.
You
are, yeah.
And so people are like, oh, you got money. Why you, like, are you going from here to here? Like, I'm spending the money that I make here.
It's your money
to do what I want to do, to travel. Like, and like, I guess I don't know how they're spending their money, but it's like, if that was not your priority, I get it. But when it is your priority, you
go for it. Yeah, I did. I didn't regret. Like my first year teaching, I went to Japan. I went to Kyoto, and I went to Beijing. I went to China.
Nice.
And then the pandemic came.
Right.
And I reflected on that. And I said, if I never get a chance to go back to China or Japan, like, I'm happy because that's the two places
that
I
you
wanted to
be.
go. Yeah. This is fun. No,
Isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, you want to do more?
Yeah, I do.
Bet. Choose one. Barbecue ribs, steak, A or B.
Barbecue. Oh, I just told my answer.
Bloopers. Because I'm a red meat lover. Yeah. Like pork like hurts.
Okay, see, I don't like pork ribs, but I was thinking like Papa's Barbecue. If you're from Texas, you know what that is.
I know.
So they have like, it's like this big barbecue franchise. It's so good. But they have like pork ribs, but they also have beef ribs.
Oh.
I love the huge beef ribs. They give you like 2 or 3.
I would love
You can only really eat one. It's so big.
Yo, portion sizes in America.
I miss them. I like getting my money's worth.
Facts. I can't even eat my money's worth.
Yeah, you can.
But at least I can take it home.
Yeah, you can take it home.
Because here in Korea, like they act like they don't want to give you to-go plates.
They do. They're like, what you stingy about the plate? Like, I paid for the meal. So I eat a lot in Itaewon.
Facts. Okay, what in chill is the best? Netflix in chill, bookstore in chill, Lauryn Hill in chill, or pizza in chill?
Okay.
So Netflix and chill is A, bookstore and chill is B, Lauryn Hill and chill is C, pizza and chill. Okay. C.
A.
Oh.
Not like the, come on, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But okay. I get it. So you just like watching movies and chilling.
Yes,
right?
I do.
But in my mind, I went,
that's why I
went where I wasn't supposed to go.
I know a lot of people, but I like movies. So.
Okay. So if it is only movies, then I would choose A. But usually it's never
part.
It's never that. I literally we can start off doing that, and then they're like,
that's a good point. Okay, I can sit there and watch the movie. It's no problem.
But
that's all I thought.
They hands like to gravitate.
All I thought about was movie. Free movie.
Can I give you a massage?
No. Okay. I like movies. That's why. In a bookstore, I'm just thinking,
Yeah, like I read, but I don't read enough to like sit in a bookstore and read.
Yeah. Bookstore and chill.
Yeah.
Sometimes the chair is not even comfortable.
It's not, which is why it's a bookstore.
They don't want you there long. That's what I heard. Like when they make the chairs uncomfortable.
So which one do you think I am then? Like
what was the other one?
Lauryn Hill and chill.
Lauryn Hill and chill.
Yeah, facts.
Let me finish. Yeah. Lauryn Hill. I was like, Lauryn Hill.
Because like if I'm not watching movies, I'm listening to music. It's one of the two. I love music. Like, there's this vinyl store. There's 2 of them. One is in Insadong called Music Complex.
Okay, haven't been there.
And the other one is Songsu.
Seen the like Instagram posts about them. They look, it's really chill. I would like to chill there. Now I would chill there.
It is so to listen like there. I don't know what it was because like when we first arrived, I was like, why are we here? Like I didn't think that it was gonna be something. But because I also thought like when you're listening with someone else, it's cool. But when you're like by yourself, you pay a fee and it includes a drink. And then, like, if you want, more drinks after that, of course, you have to pay for it. But it's a cafe.
So it's a fee.
Yeah, it's a fee to get it. Right. That's why at first I was like, I don't want to do this. But worth it. Right? Worth it. I didn't think it would be.
I guess you're paying for the drink.
No, you're paying to listen to all of the vinyls. You might break the vinyl record, like, So it's kind of like insurance.
Okay.
But it's only $18,000. So it's not like you're paying 30 or 40. It's like 18,000 and it includes a drink. So many albums there. So they have like the new music. They have old school music. They got jazz. They got pop. Like whatever you want to listen to. You choose the vinyl. You go there. You put the vinyl. Like the experience of just like putting on a vinyl and then the noise, the
old fashioned, the crack.
It was so good, and their headphones are fire.
Yeah, everything.
Noise cancellation, literally everything goes away. Like you're in a space with a lot of people, but the music kind of like just takes over your soul, and I'm like, it's so good.
So you sit there and listen to Lauryn Hill and vinyl.
We spent hours there. I went with like 5 friends.
That's so nice.
And we just was
you have
all
really
vibing
cool
to our
friends
own
though. Like
yeah,
you
facts.
can hang out with your friends like all day. Like I met,
I,
it's a cool
You should
bunch.
join the group.
I tried. You guys went some type of railroad pedaling.
Yeah.
I had been wanting to do that. Didn't know. They always go on fun trips.
So I will start considering you because I never did because we had never like hung out before. So this is my first time actually like getting to know you.
Okay.
I knew I could hang with you.
Okay.
Like I knew that if we went out and did something together, we would have fun.
Yeah.
But I still felt like we hadn't gotten to know each other.
Okay.
We didn't have a good conversation.
Yeah.
We just knew each other in passing when we saw it. It's like, oh, hey, girl.
That's true.
You know, those things are very surface level to me.
Yeah.
But when I have a good conversation with somebody, I get to know their mental, how they think, how they operate. Like I was telling you, the way I admire you, the way you operate is beautiful. I know that I can surround myself with you and be in good spirits and feel good. You know, so if had I not had this conversation, we probably still would have been like, hey, girl, hey.
Hey, see ya.
I'll see you around. You know, like
fashion shows,
exactly.
That's really where I see her festivals.
Exactly. Yeah. And so now I'm like, okay, I can hang out with her. Let me call her up and see if she's free.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want to be in the circle, you know.
Yes, because you guys always do fun activities, and most of the things I do by myself.
Right.
So,
come on, girl.
Yeah.
Hang out with us. I know you will vibe well with all of the girls that I hang out with. All right, awesome. That was Mentally Stimulate Me. Fun, no?
It was really fun. Hey. That was, I like this icebreaker.
So good, especially if you're doing it with like a stranger. I usually do this game at the beginning with them.
Why do we do it last?
Well, because like we were already comfortable and we were talking.
Okay.
And we did the introductions and then we immediately just flowed into like the rest of the podcast.
Nothing was scripted.
So I was like, we flew by the game section, so I had to like.
That's a sign that that's a good interviewer, a good interviewer.
Come on now, the words of affirmation. She's killing me here, guys. She's killing me. I was listening to multiple podcasts before, and everyone's like, would you date one of your fans, or would you want to date somebody that's another influencer? How do you feel about that?
I don't think I want to date a fan, or they shouldn't tell me I'm a fan until after.
Right.
Yeah, because
after you've been dating. Yeah, because it's kind of weird. Like, okay.